You know, in the Bible, there's this plant called hyssop. It's mentioned all over the place for cleansing rituals, purifying everything from people to entire houses. For thousands of years, it was the go-to for purification. But what if I told you the plant we all call hyssop today isn't that plant at all? Okay, let's get into this. And that's really the heart of the mystery, isn't it? The pretty plant you can buy in almost any garden center labeled hyssop might actually be an imposter, one that's been hiding the true identity of the original plant. A plant with some seriously powerful, scientifically confirmed antimicrobial abilities. Okay, so let's break it down. On the left, we've got the imposter, Hyssopus officinalis. It's a gorgeous ornamental plant from Europe. You've probably seen its pretty purple flowers. But on the right, that's the original, Origanum syriacum. It's a humble little herb from the Middle East, but it's packed with incredible chemistry. So the big question is, how on earth did we get these two so mixed up? Well, to figure that out, we have to put on our detective hats. We're going to follow a trail of clues that stretches back over 1,000 years.
You see, the whole secret is hidden in the name. Back in the 9th century, a brilliant scholar named Rabbi Saadia Gaon translated the original Hebrew word for hyssop, which was ezoph, into the Arabic za'atar. Now this was genius, because his readers already knew za'atar. It was a super common herb they used in their food. Fast forward 300 years, and the famous physician Maimonides doubles down on it. He confirms, yep, this isn't some lost mythical plant, it's a kitchen staple. And then bam, in 1988, researchers finally connected all the dots.
And this quote right here, this is the smoking gun. Maimonides couldn't be clearer. He's basically saying, hey, you know that super important plant from our most sacred texts? Yeah, that's the same stuff we sprinkle on our bread every single day. The sacred and the everyday were literally the same thing. So the plant they were all talking about is Origanum syriacum. You might know it by a few different names: Syrian oregano, Bible hyssop, or just za'atar. This is the true biblical hyssop. It's not just a legend, it's a real, identifiable plant. So, the ancient texts claimed it was a cleanser, a purifier. But does modern science actually back that up? Oh yeah, and this is where the story gets really compelling. All right, check this out. The secret weapon in Origanum syriacum is a compound called carvacrol. And just look at that number. It can make up over 60% of the plant's essential oil. We're not talking trace amounts here. This stuff is absolutely packed with it. It's a chemical powerhouse. So how does this stuff actually work? Well, it's not subtle. It's a full-on cellular assault. A 1999 study showed that carvacrol doesn't just gently poison a bacterium, it attacks it. First, it punches holes in the outer wall. Then, within just a few minutes, the cell's entire energy supply just crashes to zero. And for the grand finale, the membrane literally bursts open, killing the organism instantly. It's less like a poison and more like a tiny demolition crew. And it's not just some one-trick pony. Labs have found it's a strong inhibitor of common molds. Scientists have literally watched under an electron microscope as it tears apart the bacteria that causes strep throat. And get this, a very recent study found it can even help modern antibiotics defeat the drug-resistant superbug MRSA. I mean, think about that. An ancient cleansing tool is now helping us fight some of modern medicine's scariest enemies. So you'd think a plant with this kind of history and this much power would be a hero, right? Celebrated even. Well, you'd be wrong. Instead of being celebrated, it was criminalized, and that started a fight for the very survival of this simple kitchen herb. Here's where the story takes a crazy turn. Back in 1977, citing concerns about over-harvesting for commercial sale, Israel put za'atar on its list of protected species. And just like that, the age-old practice of going out and gathering a wild herb became a prosecutable crime. And the human cost of this law, wow. It's captured perfectly in this heartbreaking line from actual court documents. This isn't some confession from a big-time criminal. This was a statement from a Palestinian forager, someone most likely just trying to carry on a tradition their family had known for generations. So what was the actual crime here? It was picking a plant that was a core part of your food, your culture, your family's medicine cabinet, a plant your grandmother and her grandmother probably picked from those exact same hillsides. And that single act set off this disastrous domino effect. First, you criminalize the wild harvest, so the authentic supply chain just breaks. But people still want za'atar, right? So traders start subbing in other, less effective herbs. And to hide what they're doing, they start powdering the blends, which of course leads to tons of fraud. It got so out of hand that international food safety agencies actually had to step in and create anti-fraud rules. But, and this is the amazing part, that's not where the story ends. Not even close. Despite all the legal fights and the market corruption, that ancient knowledge survived, and this incredible plant is making a serious comeback. And it's all thanks to the resilience of culture and the people who thought to protect it. You've got organizations like Canaan Fair Trade creating new legitimate markets for small farmers. You have women's cooperatives keeping the traditional hand processing methods alive. Artists and filmmakers started telling the story to the entire world. And now, people are successfully cultivating the plant in totally new places, securing its future. Okay, so how can you spot the real deal for yourself? The real one has soft, kind of fuzzy, grayish-green leaves and tiny white flowers. The imposter has darker green leaves and those really showy purple-blue flower spikes. But here's the real giveaway, the smell. Crush a leaf, the real one, it screams oregano and thyme. The imposter is much more minty, almost like camphor. Totally different. And here's the best part. You can totally grow this stuff yourself. Just find seeds for Origanum syriacum. Give it tons of sun and soil that drains really, really well. It absolutely hates having wet roots. And here's the secret to success. Kind of forget about it. Seriously, this plant actually thrives on a little neglect. Okay, one last thing, and this is super important. This plant is no joke. It's powerful. Its concentrated essential oil can be irritating, and you should never, ever consume it undiluted. And please remember, these lab studies are fascinating for sure, but they are not medical advice. So please be smart and be safe with it. So think about it. For centuries, this plant's true identity was basically lost. Its traditional use was made illegal. They tried to erase the knowledge. But it survived. It survived in old books, in scientific research, and in the hands of the families who refused to let it die. And now, that knowledge is yours. And all of this leaves us with one big final question. We just saw a case where modern science looked at an ancient plant and confirmed what the old texts had been saying all along. It really makes you wonder, right? How many other so-called folk remedies, things that maybe have been dismissed for years, are just science that we haven't gotten around to proving yet?